Okay, so today I went to Tim Hortons and I tried to order half a dozen donuts, and let me tell you guys, it was absolutely the most stressful thing I've done today. And that's because I wanted the donuts all Canadian maple, and they told me that they only had one Canadian maple. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll take the rest Boston cream. And then they were like, oh, we don't have any Boston cream. Tim Hortons is a place that's known for selling donuts, and the fact that they only have one or two donuts at any given time is kind of disappointing. Now I know they don't want to bake too much in case it goes to waste, but at least have a little extra for the most popular kinds of donuts that people order all the time. This is a problem with Tim Hortons. When they bake donuts, they don't commit, you know what I'm saying? It leads to such a bad customer experience, and I'm so disappointed. Now what does this have to do with today's topic? Absolutely nothing. I just wanted to complain about something. But now that I have your attention, let's jump into today's topic. In today's video, we're talking about Microsoft potentially buying TikTok. So without further ado, let's jump in. So first of all, right off the bat, I just want to say that I think this deal is an absolute game changer for Microsoft. Now, obviously, the first point of comparison is obviously when Facebook bought Instagram. So if you guys remember back in 2012 when Facebook first bought Instagram, they paid about $1 billion. Now back then that was a lot of money, and back then I had just started to use Instagram, and to be honest, I didn't really see the point of it. I thought it was kind of dumb, and I thought it was kind of redundant, right? So it was just a platform where you can post pictures, and I was like, I can do the same thing on Facebook. Why am I gonna sign up for this new platform and post the pictures on there? But as time went on, I kind of saw the value of Instagram, and it's just a better way to share pictures and stuff, and now I can't even imagine posting a picture on Facebook. Now I know I still post pictures on Facebook sometimes, but that's only because I post it on Instagram first, and there's like a little button that you can press that will automatically share the same photo on Facebook. So I just have that enabled, but I don't really go on Facebook to post pictures, if that makes any sense. So yeah, now I almost exclusively post pictures on Instagram instead of Facebook, and I can't even imagine being like super active on Facebook, right? If I were to do that, people would be like, what are you, 1 billion years old? So yeah, I don't really scroll through Facebook as much as I used to anymore. I still do from time to time, but Instagram is where the attention is at these days, right? So arguably, I think Instagram is where Facebook's big growth is, and I think that the days are past when Facebook, the platform itself, is experiencing super high growth. Now, of course, I know they're still growing, but they're not growing nearly as fast, and I think that their crazy growth days are behind them, right? Versus Instagram is growing at some pretty crazy paces lately. So if we were to take an estimate of how much Instagram is worth right now, well, Facebook as a whole has a market cap of about 700 billion. And back in 2018, Bloomberg put out this report saying that Instagram by itself has surpassed a $100 billion valuation. Now I think, this was in 2018 by the way, so now I think that Instagram has got to be worth at least 150 billion, right? If not $200 billion. So essentially in less than 10 years, Facebook has made over 100x on this investment in Instagram, which goes without saying has been an absolute game changer for Facebook. Now going back to TikTok, I can see a similar story. Here we have a social media that is super popular among young people. I mean, if we just look at the most followed personality on TikTok right now, Charli D'Amelio has over 76 million followers. Now, it's not at Instagram levels yet, because if we look at Instagram, we have celebrities that have over 100 million followers, right? But, in a few years, you never know, TikTok might get to that level soon. Now, the market cap of TikTok is estimated to be around $100 billion, so it probably won't do 100x the same way that Instagram did, but according to an analyst from Wedbush, Microsoft could see a $200 billion increase in market cap in less than 3 years if the deal goes through, and puts the chances of this deal going through at around 75 to 80%. Now, in my opinion, it's unlikely that Microsoft will be buying the entire TikTok company, and this is just because the Chinese government is probably not too keen on Microsoft having a social network within China, right? So in my opinion, it's unlikely that Microsoft is going to buy the whole company. If they were to buy it, they'd probably only buy the assets and the operations that are in countries like America, Canada, the UK, parts of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, places like that, like the Western world. They'll probably only buy the operations there. But even then, that's a huge deal for Microsoft, and they probably won't need to spend $100 billion, but they'll have to spend a lot of money. Now, looking at Microsoft's balance sheet, it does look like they have plenty of cash, so they'll be able to do this deal all cash if they wanted to. Now, when I first heard of this deal, I was like, Microsoft? Why not Facebook, right? Facebook seems seems a lot better suited to buy TikTok. And then I thought about it for like 2 seconds and they're like, yeah, they want to, but they can't. So the government's already breathing down Facebook's neck because of the antitrust issues, and you could only imagine if Facebook tried to buy TikTok, it would just ignite a whole firestorm of antitrust issues. And yeah, I just don't think that it will go through anyways. So I think Microsoft is actually in a uniquely good position to buy TikTok just because they don't have a lot of stake in social media just yet. Now they own LinkedIn, which in my opinion is not really a social network. I mean, come on, LinkedIn. And they tried this thing with Mixer and it didn't really work out. So I think Microsoft's been dying to get back into the social media game. And I think if they buy TikTok, they'll have a real winner on their hands. So I'm really happy about this news. And I really hope that Microsoft does buy TikTok and the deal does end up going through. Now, after this news broke out, I did add to my position of Microsoft. So I bought 14 shares of Microsoft at an average cost of about $214 per share. And I know you guys are going to give me flack for buying the stock at literally all-time highs, but hear me out here, right? As I said, TikTok is a real game changer if Microsoft does end up buying it and if the deal does end up going through. And, you know, if the deal doesn't end up going through, if it falls through, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to own Microsoft shares. So even if the deal falls through, without this deal, I think I'll still make money on Microsoft in the long term. So people often ask me, what's my strategy in making money in the stock market? Well, I gotta say, you just gotta find situations like these where if you're right, you make money. And if you're wrong, you make money, but a lot slower. So I think this is one of the situations where if the deal goes through, then you make money. And if the deal doesn't go through, then you'll still make money with Microsoft in the long term. So it's like that Eminem song, right? So you remember that Eminem song where he goes like, had a dream, I was king, I woke up, still king. So that's what you need to do when you're investing. And clearly Eminem had this figured out a long time before I did. So he's called the greatest of all time for a reason, right? So now you know the reason. Anyways, Donald Trump has said that he's giving Microsoft 45 days to complete the deal, which means that basically this deal will have to be complete by September the 15th at the latest before we hear a result of whether or not this deal will have to go through. And to be honest, I'm expecting to hear a final result a long time before that. So we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, basically this is very exciting times, and I have a lot of faith in Microsoft, especially the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. I think he's one of the best CEOs that are out there just worldwide out of any company right now. So I have a lot of faith in Satya Nadella, and I know that he knows what he's doing. So yeah. The video's getting a little long. I'm going to leave it here. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing if you like the series. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave the links down below in the description as always. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!